So we're doing our top 10 favorite movies of 2018, our 4 to 5 honorable mentions, and then our top 3 or bottom 3 worst movies of 2018.
Who wants to start?
Not
Well,
me.
Mud said no, so I
Yeah,
guess
I
you're
did.
going to have to start.
I'll start. Okay, so my number 10 of 2018 best movie of all time, The Incredibles 2. There's a review we did of it, and therefore I won't say much about it. It's going to be a common theme as far as the show goes,
What
but
do you mean it's going to be a common theme? I'm going to talk ad nauseum about all these movies.
at one
we talked
point it
about
was my
all the
favorite
movies.
of the year. It was my top of the list, and now it's number 10 because I saw a bunch of great movies and also reconsidered a little bit, but it's still on my list. What's yours, Mud?
Annihilation, Natalie Portman and Oscar Isaacs. This movie was really good. I really liked all the symbolism in it. It's only number 10 for me because some of the concepts weren't executed all that well, but I thought it was well acted, well directed, and it had a lot of interesting things to say about depression and grief, and it just spoke to me on an emotional level at this point in my life for reasons I won't get into, and I just really enjoyed it.
Fair enough.
That's a good choice. Tessa Thompson's also in it, which I forget every time I talk about the
That's
movie.
not what we're talking about, but okay. Unless
No, I
it's
always
a segue
forget.
into your number 10.
Bohemian Rhapsody, Tessa Thompson's not in this one.
Yeah.
It's fun, and I love every second of it. I mean, it's obviously not perfect, that's why it's number 10, but as a fan of Queen, it's just a good damn time.
Gotta say my number 9 is The Favorite with a U because it's British.
The favorite.
The Favorite. It's
Understandable.
super good. I love the hell out of this movie.
This came out of nowhere in the 11th hour. Jake, you watched this movie, 2 days ago?
Literally a week ago.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Out of nowhere, Jake's just like, oh my god, The Favorite. It's amazing.
Fantastic.
Which is funny because we've seen trailers for it and you're just like, this doesn't look good.
It looked
You
like
look
ass.
Like, this doesn't look good.
It looked like ass, but it was on my
looks like
list.
ass based on the trailers.
But it's actually brilliant in every way, so it's my number 9. What's your number 9?
My number 9 is The Front Runner with Hugh Jackman.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm so mad.
Telling the true story of Gary Hart in his failed run for presidency in 1988, I believe. Another movie that had a lot to say, but maybe not the best way to say it. But it's themes about like the media's role in keeping the government accountable and where the quote-unquote line is between journalism and gossip media. Fantastically executed. Again, especially given the times nowadays, I won't get into it, but like it was a poignant discussion about politics. It was everything that Vice wasn't. That's the best way I can put it. It was a better Vice.
What Vice tried to be.
What Vice tried to be and failed because Vice was too busy jerking itself off.
Yep.
The Front Runner took itself 100% seriously 100% of the time, and it paid off.
Well, my number 9's way better than politics because it has dogs in it. It's Isle of Dogs. It was great. I loved the thematic sense. It also has politics in it. Oddly
It
enough.
does. Dog
So I'm
politics.
it's politics with dogs. Fantastic, great message. Very well voice acted and beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I was on the edge of my seat. Well animated. Wes Anderson, talented guy, obviously. So I have nothing but good things to say about the movie.
Good to know. My number 8 of the year is mid-90s, the Jonah Hill directorial debut in the little square aspect ratio.
When I mentioned I wanted to see it, said, "Hey, it doesn't look good."
It didn't look good. It looked terrible. It's another The Favorite situation. And lo and behold, coming-of-age drama happens to be my number 8 of the year, and I'm super psyched about it. I had a lot of great themes and a lot of great stuff going on, and I really enjoyed the way it was portrayed and the way it was executed, and how none of the characters felt fake.
Did you like the end?
What was the end? Don't spoil it. For the listeners.
When it just ended.
He made the thing for them.
Yeah.
It was, So that was a nice ending. That was a decent
I
ending.
liked it. I felt like it just ended. I wanted to see like a little bit more.
I
after
would say that it concluded the movie pretty well. It
I wanted
kinda
to see
tied
a
it.
little bit more, maybe like 2
little more.
or 3 more minutes.
Fair enough, I'll give you that. But I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
My number 8 for the year is Tag.
I love
Oh
Tag.
my god, what an amazing movie. This movie hit me at my core. It was just such a beautiful story about friends trying to stick together years down the line, and like, oh my god, well acted, well directed, and the best part of this movie is it does that thing where Hollywood takes some liberties, but at the end of the movie they play a montage of the guys playing this game over the years because it's inspired by a true story of a group of friends who played tag for 40 years, and it shows all the ways that their real life game inspired the movie. And it was amazing. It was down to the costumes in the movie were the exact same as they were in the films. That was a level of detail that I just didn't expect.
Yeah.
That brings the movie up in my mind, and just the feel-good ending.
If it weren't feel good enough, that ending where it showed the real thing and like, oh, it's so sweet, and it just kind of bolstered it.
Yeah, like it was good, it was great, and then the feel-good ending, and then the real footage, and just the genuine I feel friendship that was portrayed, whether or not these guys are actually friends in real life, but every actor in this movie, I was like, these guys have been friends their entire life, and I feel it. Yeah.
So my number 8 is White Boy Rick, and we're going to talk about this later, probably. Maybe.
Yes.
Just a
No.
possibility.
Why would we talk about
Just a
that
little bit.
later?
So I'm not going to talk about it too much. I hate Matthew McConaughey. He was fucking awesome in this movie. That's how good this movie was. One of my least favorite actors. I'm like, great. I have to watch a Matthew McConaughey movie, and I'm going to be like, the whole time. And it looks fine. Trailer didn't do it as much justice, and he was great.
Are you
And the
kidding me?
movie was great. The
I love
trailer, the trailer was good, but the best line was the cut.
Custard.
We're going for custard. And I
going
was
for
like,
custard.
okay. So maybe I want to see the movie because that's funny. But that was brilliant. Funny, charming, good story, really.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if another based on true story thing. Very thematic of this year. There's a lot of based on true story movies that
Yeah.
ended up being actually really good.
Some stories are just good to tell.
Yeah. And some of them are good to tell and you do it completely wrong. And
Yeah, like Vice.
Like Vice. I was about to say it and I was like, oh, let's say it.
So my number 7 of the year is Vice. No, I'm just fucking kidding.
Also, this could also just be a review of Vice.
No, it kind of is. Also, so how was Vice?
Yeah.
Kind of the title. My number 7 is Alpha. Holy shit. So the reason why
Is
this
that
is
the
on...
movie about the robot dog?
No,
No.
that's Axel.
Oh, my bad.
Fuck that. It's a movie about the origins, quote
Oh, the
unquote.
wolf one. Got it.
The war where
Of man's best friend.
humans domesticate dogs for the first time. This really hit close to home with me. First of all, like most people, I'm a lover of dogs. But I really have a soft spot for stories that are very simple in premises and little to no dialogue, but are executed really well over a
That's
long
true.
period of time. This is like an hour and a half movie. It's the kind of premise that should be like a short film, and you'd feel like it'd be drawn out, but no second on screen was wasted. And I really felt they did a fantastic job. Everyone involved, the lighting, directing, acting, camera work, everything down to a T was just masterful. And I know like a lot of people like, oh, they generally really liked this movie, but didn't think it was like the best movie of all time. I'm putting it on my top 10. This is a fantastic movie, and I cannot wait to watch it again.
My number 7 is Crazy Rich Asians. Like a phoenix, it rose from the disaster that is its trailer.
Oh, yeah.
None of us wanted to see that movie.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the only reason we saw this movie is because it caught critical praise. People were praising
We were
it.
shocked that it was...
We were
yeah.
genuinely shocked by the amount of love this movie was getting, so we had to go see it. By the end of this movie, Jake can attest to this, I teared up.
Yeah.
This movie got me on like...
You looked at me and you went, I'm a bitch, and started crying.
I did, and I was, and this movie made me cry. The end of this movie made me cry. I honestly cannot remember the last time a movie has made me cry at its ending.
I'm not even making fun of him. That's literally what he said.
Yeah. Well, it's because earlier I'd been leaning over and joking to him, going, "You bitch, you crying, you little bitch."
Because in theaters, when I yawn, my eyes water. So every movie I see, I'm a little bit tired. My eyes will water no matter
Yeah,
what.
so I was just ragging on him, but you enjoyed Crazy
Yeah,
Rich
yeah.
too.
I
This
enjoyed it
movie
very
was
much.
Fantastic. It is nothing like what the trailer sells it to be. It's not this weird Lifetime cliche movie.
Hallmark picture.
It's not,
It
yeah.
looked like a shitty rom-com.
It looked like a shitty rom-com, and it's not. It is a beautifully shot and acted rom-com.
That's it?
To number 7.
I'm a bitch. Okay, sorry. Tag. You already talked about Tag. I'm
They just
gonna
talk-
talk even fucking more about Tag. Best comedy of the year. Funniest movie I've seen this year. Amazingly acted. Well shot. Well directed. Great premise based on the true story. I don't want to talk about everything you talked about, but
I'm mostly focused on the ending.
oh Jesus Christ, it was so funny throughout. There are jokes in the trailer that are in the movie that made me laugh. That's how you know you did a comedy correctly. And this is one of the best comedies I've seen, period. Funny and heartwarming, and it was a good movie too. A lot of comedies just aren't good movies. Like they're funny, and then you watch them and you're like, that's just funny. And you can't rewatch it. This movie has rewatch value, and I think that's really important for a comedy film.
Yeah.
That's another thing you would factor into your top 10. Like, would
Oh,
you watch it
100%.
again? I'd watch all mine again.
I
right
have
now.
movies that I rated lower than other movies that didn't even make it onto my honorable mentions because I just don't feel I could rewatch them.
My number 6 of the year is Green Book with Marshala Ali and Viggo Mortensen. This movie is the second best movie about racism all year. We'll get to that later. It's super good. I love the premise, also based on a true story. I love the directing, I love the writing, but most of all, I love the acting from our two leads, Viggo and Marshala Ali. They are the best possible fucking choices for this role, these two roles that they play. Their back and forth just sells the entire movie, and let alone the movie itself is also really good. But on top of that, you got these two heavyweights going at it, wonderful to watch, and I love the way the story unfolds, and I love the ending. It's a really heartfelt movie overall.
My number 6 for the year is A Quiet Place, starring John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. Wow, what an experience this movie is. We all saw it in theaters together. This is the first movie we all saw together.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
This is the first movie all three of us saw together. Oh my god, I don't think I've ever been in a better audience for a movie, and I'm not just saying that because no one talked the entire time because the movie's dead quiet. This movie is an experience to watch. You need to have seen it in theaters, and if you didn't, I am sorry for you. Over the summer, after we saw this movie, I went down to visit my cousins in Virginia. They had bought it on DVD, and they were watching it at night. Watching my little cousin, who's like 14 or 15, jump up and start just going, no, 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 halfway through the movie.
It's funny.
It was hilarious because I was the only person in the room who had seen the movie at that point. Everyone else is on bated breath, like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? I could feel their muscles tensing from the nerves. This movie, oh my god, it plays with your entire body. By the time you walk out, you need to take a nap because you're so exhausted. This movie brings it and kills it the entire time, and it's all in thanks to John Krasinski's brilliant directing.
I want to point out there, Mud said he was a bitch during Crazy Rich Asians. Mud held my hand for half the fucking movie for Quiet Place. He's
That's
definitely
because I
a
have
bitch.
panic. It's because I'm a panicky person.
Sorry, I had to throw you under the bus a little bit there.
Thanks, buddy.
So my number 6 is just as good as A Quiet Place. So it's Aquaman. I loved this movie. Visually stunning, very well done. DC made a good one this time, and I'm very happy. It's the best superhero movie I saw this year, and that's saying a lot, considering there's a lot of really good superhero movies that came out this year. And that's really all I need to say about it. I mean, you guys should know. You guys should have seen it already. I don't want to spoil anything.
I'm pretty sure if they've watched Aquaman, it's made fucking dummy money.
Almost $1 billion. It's been
Almost
like a month.
$1 billion with
Yeah.
a B.
In 1 month. Which is absurd. My number 5 of the year is Upgrade, starring Logan Marshall Green, the discount Tom
Not
Hardy.
Tom Hardy, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's fantastic in this. This movie is fantastic. I love everything about this movie. I love the style and like the world that it sets up with the tone and like this universe where like stuff like this happens, but also people act like regular people, which I really enjoy stuff like that. Just as soon as the conceit gets going, it picks right the fuck up. And also the opening, the entire like opening 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes is all like visually done mostly. There's a little bit of dialogue in there, but like it's just masterfully directed in my opinion. I saw a lot of genius in this. The whole escapism as far as like people's arms can be modified into guns to shoot out of their palm of their hand, like that, whew, big boy movie. Very much enjoy that. So number 5 of the year, gotta go Upgrade.
I'm going to interject on Upgrade. Every single time I see a movie that has any form of cool prosthetic, I immediately want to cut my arms off.
Yeah.
And that's like such a bad
Dude,
thing to say.
same.
I saw Shotgun Arm Man, and I'm like, what if I cut my arm off?
We got a shotgun there
Ian,
instead.
That's bad. You don't do
That's
that.
movies. Alright, my number 5 for the year is Black Klansman.
All right, Mud.
Let's
this
talk
is
about
the
it
first
together.
time me and you get to talk about
We have some
Marvel
overlaps.
together.
Ian and I
Snap,
on
here we
this.
go.
So let's talk about Black Klansman together, Ian.
I fucking love this
Holy
movie.
shit, this movie's great.
It's funny.
It's funny as hell.
It's Spike Lee, obviously.
Spike Lee is a master of comedy, and it's amazingly acted.
And beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful.
Everybody. From
Everybody.
Eric Foreman being the head of racism, from Alec Baldwin's like tyrannical racist rant at the beginning, to James Washington.
John David Washington.
I was fucking
son
really
of
close.
Denzel. Adam Driver. Oh my
Adam
god.
Driver
the
was
best
awesome.
line in the
Oh.
movie. Flip, you're Jewish? I don't know. Am I? Like, what kind of stupid question is that? I'm wearing a Star of David, you fucking idiot.
Amazing movie.
Oh.
Great premise. Great message.
Great, based on a true story.
Yeah, another fun fact. I've heard the book sucks.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Well,
and
it's,
it's really
you know,
disappointing.
it was probably a little. I read that it was a little dramatized. Like the whole bomb
Obviously.
plot wasn't real.
But
Yeah, no. Black
No.
Klansman, fucking amazing.
yeah,
movie.
it's fun and informative while
And-
also being serious.
Yes.
And that's the important part.
And it loops back, like, kind of like The Front Runner. It talks about the times of today. Whether or not you like the way they went about it, I understand.
yeah.
I personally
liked a lot of
liked
the
it.
subtlety in the the and then it got a little hammy at the end. And
Yeah,
you're like,
but there
okay.
were also some times during the movie where they were pretty ham-fisted with it, but you can accept it and move on
Yep.
and enjoy the movie for what it is.
Exactly.
And if you really have a problem with a movie where the KKK is the bad guys,
Well, then-
I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
I also really enjoyed Vice. I just want to jump in.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about, right?
Can we just title this video, So How Was Vice?
I really want to.
So what's your number 4?
Number 4 is Isle of Dogs because I love dogs. Holy shit.
You know,
But
if you say the title's slow. and
very
then
clever
that's-
title
Yeah.
by Wes Anderson, by the way. But I really enjoyed this movie. I think the animation was something really top notch here. I haven't seen a well animated movie like this since at least a year or two of watching movies. I really enjoyed a lot of how this movie was done. The only thing I really don't like about it is the kind of plot twist that the brother is actually the dog of the other
it's
dog.
very convenient.
It was
That-
kind of but
That was
like
super convenient.
also the characters that were not in Isle of Dogs, like the characters on the regular island, kind of weak to me. But overall, the story and how it was executed was really fun, and that's what it's riding on. Obviously, the animation style with the dogs and the voice acting, how everything is like. Because Wes Anderson's style is like center frame of everything and stuff like that. But I really
It's
enjoyed.
very Wes Anderson.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed how like
That's what you can
that
say.
style that he has really translates well to animation and comedy. So the jokes are more heavy hitting than they would be if they were live action. So I really enjoy that aspect of it. So it's
Yeah.
number 4 of the year.
Nice. My number 4 of the year is probably a weird pick because it only just came out. But
Vice.
Mary, Queen of Scots.
Ooh,
Wow, what a movie. Let me just put it simply. This is the best episode of Game of Thrones in years. Powerful acting from Margot Robbie and the Mary actress whose name I can't remember. Here's the crazy part about this movie. Margot Robbie, like they sold it on Margot Robbie's Queen Elizabeth. She's barely in this movie. It is up to the girl playing Mary, Queen of Scots to carry it, and she fucking carries it. Oh my god, there's so much like just emotion going on in every scene, and it's just so well acted, so well directed. I've heard it's not the most historically accurate thing, and that sucks, so that kind of brings it down a peg, but gonna hit you guys with a hot take. I don't care. This movie's great. I had so much fun watching it, so it's my number 4 of the year.
Is that the one with Nick Holt?
No, that's The Favorite.
Okay.
that's the one I watched. Real good.
How was he in that?
Fantastic. He was one of the best parts
Yeah.
of it, honestly.
Sorry.
Of course he was. He's Nick Holt.
He's
Yeah,
Nick
he's
Holt.
fantastic.
Forgot to
my
mention
number
that.
4 is also going to be a controversial one because this movie didn't make any money. Bad
onions.
Times at the Royale. If you're going in for a fun time and a wild ride,
Watch
there
Vice.
it is. Such a wild ride. Twists, turns, ever. Soundtrack, beautiful. Acting, beautiful. This makes the 50 Shades of Grey girl look like she could win a fucking Oscar eventually. She's great. And that's really saying something because I don't know if you've seen any of 50 Shades of Grey, but she sucked.
Hot no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
so,
seen it either.
trash.
Yeah.
But she was great. Everyone in this movie, Jeff Bridges, beautiful. Cynthia Erivo, beautiful. She's super talented anyways. Every single person in this movie sold it. Chris Hemsworth is the craziest motherfucker alive. This movie is fantastic. It's a wild ride. It's a trip. It's an experience. It's just fun.
Some of these movies you guys are talking about aren't even on my list. But here's the thing. Next week we're going to talk about every movie that we've seen this year, so
Oh,
I'm
that's
just going to
gonna
bring
be
it
a
all up
fun
anyway.
one.
It's going to be
Are
so
we?
much fun.
Oh god, I don't even
That's
have that.
next
I don't
week.
even have that list.
Well, no, it'd be everything that
We're going down like Wikipedia and
Oh,
stuff.
thank
Being
God.
like, did we
Yeah.
see that? What did we think of it?
exactly.
Number 3, we're getting into the finale here. We're
I
getting
know.
into the-
We're getting into the
uh,
Operation Finale.
Yeah, that's not on my list.
It's not on my list either.
No, what's the word I'm looking for? Podium positions. We're getting into the podiums.
So this is the bronze medal.
The
of
bronze
movies.
medal, our third favorite movies
This
of the year.
year's bronze medal from me comes to Quiet Place. Gotta say, this movie is fantastic, echoing a lot of the things that mostly you said about
I
how
think
it's
I'm the only one who's talked about A Quiet Place yet.
about like being tense the whole time. It kind of keeps you in that like little suspension of like, oh my god, if I say anything at all, I'm gonna die. Puts you in that world. I love the immersion as that. I really love the performances here. I love the writing. This is a fantastic first effort from John Krasinski. I think it's his first, right? Yeah, it's his first. I
Yeah,
really
it's his
enjoyed it.
directorial debut. Yours too, right?
Me and
All right.
Buddy are both going to talk about
We're
Sorry
talking
to Bother You
teaming up
now.
again. Number 3, our bronze medals. Sorry to bother you. What a trip! What a fucking trip this movie is. To me, this movie is one of those movies that gets smarter every time you watch it, and the more you think about it. I've now seen this movie 6 times. I'm not joking. I saw it twice
That's a
in
lot.
theaters. I've seen it once on Hulu, once with a friend, and then 2 times for school. This movie came out in the summer, and it's already part of our film course curriculums. I had so many professors being like, sorry to bother you, you need to watch this movie for school this year.
True, man.
Because it's crazy. Bruce Riley, I don't know where you got this idea from, but holy crap, dude, I can't believe I watched a movie about telemarketing
Yeah.
and enjoyed myself. Lakeith Stanfield,
Oh, I love him
crazy
so
good in
much.
the role. Crazy. This to me is like Lakeith Stanfield needs to be in every movie. I am now more excited.
Knives Out.
Knives Out, the new
Yeah.
Ian Johnson movie. I am more excited for it knowing that Lakeith Stanfield is in it.
100%.
Not enough that it's Chris Evans and Amanda Armez from Blade Runner. She played
Yep.
Joy.
Yeah, she was my
By
favorite part of
Rian-
Blade Runner
yeah,
2049.
She's everyone's favorite part. She killed it.
Yep.
With Rian Johnson, and it's a whodunit murder mystery. That enough sold me on it. And then they went, oh, and the other cops, like Keith Stanfield, sign me up. Done.
Immediate. Yeah, he's fantastic.
That's my number one for 2019. I can tell you that already.
I haven't even talked.
You
yet.
haven't even talked. Go.
All-star cast. Terry Crews is in it for 10 whole minutes, and I
great.
fucking love Terry.
It's so good.
Any movie with Terry Crews, bolstered. The beginning of this movie is a movie about fucking telemarketing, and you're sitting there like, why is this so interesting? And it's the way it's done. But the best scene in the movie is when he picks up the phone, says, "Hi, cash a screen," and it drops into her house across.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
They're in the room with them.
The themes of this movie take a very weird twist, and it works. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. Well, it's not beautiful. It's very ugly.
It's
at
ugly,
the
but
same
it's
time, that's the
amazing in its
point.
ugliness. This movie is
Yeah.
ugly to look at, and that's the
It's
best part.
beautiful.
It does not shy away from being
Directorial wise, shot for shot wise, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can only think of 2 better movies this year. That's
Me
the
too.
best way to put it. And
That's the best way to put it.
It's fantastic. I loved every second of it. I've only seen it once, but I want to watch it again immediately.
So good.
Because I've been trying to catch up on 2018 movies, haven't gotten to watch it yet.
Yeah, I
And
got you.
Damn.
So, White Boy Rick is my number 2. And gotta say, this is my number 1 for a very long time as far as the year goes. There are some days where I think it's number 1. As of today, that is not the case. Still stick with my true number 1. But honestly, White Boy Rick is one of the best movies of the year. It is a work of art, in my opinion. I loved how almost every character had his own arc, his or her own arc. I love the writing. I love the directing. Just kind of repeating myself as far as what I like about these movies. That's what draws me in. I love the way that Matthew McConaughey, if he doesn't get a fucking Best Supporting Actor nomination, I'll be pissed. And I'm at the point now where I've seen almost every movie this year, or at least the ones that
Literally
are
every
gonna be,
movie.
Yeah,
I have seen every film.
I've seen all of film. But I'm at the point now, because I think when we reviewed White Boy Rick, or at least we talked about it, I was like, I think he should get a Best Supporting Actor, but I haven't seen them all yet. Now I've seen almost all of them.
He should still.
He
I
should
agree.
still. Yeah.
He definitely should. I'll be pissed if he doesn't. That'll be the biggest snub since Patrick Stewart didn't get one for Logan last year. So, in essence, this movie is a damn near masterpiece. Go watch it if you haven't.
And go for custard.
And
I
go
vote
for custard, damn it!
We did. My silver medal goes to Blind Spotting, which is kind of a not very well-known movie. It only made $4 million at the box office, but oh my god, is this movie amazing. Very poignant on its topics, not afraid to shy away from anything, and it just gets good. I don't even know where to begin with this, so I think I'm just going to blanket with I loved everything about this movie. The acting, the directing, the writing, the characters. Some of these characters blew my mind. Miles. Oh my god, what a great character. Nothing was better than that scene when he realized him and the hipster had the same tattoo. And the look on his face. I have nothing else to give this movie other than fucking see it.
Absolutely.
So my number 2, both of you guys have already talked about it. And that's
the only one that's on all 3 of our lists. No, there's another one.
one singular, quiet place. It is an atmospheric masterpiece. Like Mud said, everyone in the theater, silent. Every single person was on the edge of their seat. Beautifully acted. I like the fact that they actually got a person who can't speak or hear to be the little girl. I think that's a really nice touch because it adds a lot of just reality to it. It's real. And the whole movie feels real. There's not a minute of this weird alien monster movie where I'm like, yeah, this isn't a real life thing. And that's really saying something considering how creepy those damn things are.
They were.
They were fucking weird and I didn't like them. And I hated them.
That immersion was so good.
And when Emily Blunt steps on the nail,
Oh, no,
Jesus
dude.
Christ.
you're sitting there and you're like, nope, that's not for me.
That ain't
Don't
it,
want
Chief.
that.
No, thank you.
Yeah, there's a lot that we could say.
Was that
But-
the movie where I gave myself a Charlie? No, that was Overlord, sorry.
It's Overlord. When you put him on the hook and you were like, no.
But let's focus on Quiet Place.
I loved The Quiet Place. It was my number 1 until
A certain movie came out,
and
yeah.
it should have stayed there, but it didn't. Because there's one movie better. Jake, we're going to talk about it simultaneously right after our honorable mentions list.
5
Because I'm
honorable
the only one who
mentions.
didn't put it as the number 1.
You want to explain the rules, Mud?
They are 5, no more than 5 movies that we all feel were good but not good enough to make it onto our top 10 lists. So we're all going to take turns reading them 1 to 5. We're not going to rotate around. We're just
I know.
gonna read.
That's a better
And
way to do it.
Just about a quick sentence, nothing like we've been jerking the other movies off like we have been. Just a quick, I like this movie because A, B, and C. Moving on.
So my top 5, gotta say, Tag, honorable mention, it was on the list for a very long time. Most of the reasons that you guys said just kind of echo that. Crazy Rich Asians, this movie, from the perspective of the female lead, is actually a supermind genius game master who manipulated everything to happen in her favor so that she would win the day and get the approval and get her love and get the money. This movie is a fucking masterpiece. But I know it's not how it was probably intended unless it was, in which case it's so fucking cool. I love it. Anyway, it was on the list for a very long time. First Reformed. This is a movie about Ethan Hawke being a priest at a church. This was a 9 out of 10 until it just stopped filming and there's no ending. And it's supposed to be, this is how the movie's structured. Fuck you. Needed a conclusion. Need to set up some kind of conclusion so you can actually conclude the movie in a proper way. So that brought it down a few pegs, so it wasn't on the list. Gringo. Amazon's movie. I've already talked about this in the top 10 of the year so far. This movie I see as a rhapsody about this one fucking guy who's a pushover who gets caught as the most important person between this drug war between a company and everyone. I love every aspect of this movie. And Deadpool 2 was on my list for a very long time, like most of the others, except Once Upon a Deadpool brought it down a few pegs for me because it was really not that great of an experience. Your turn.
All right, starting off my list is the only superhero movie you'll see from me at all, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. What an amazing film. Really, I gotta say, this is gonna sound really dumb, but the most original comic book movie this year. Mm-hmm. And I'm so happy that Miles Morales is now a thing. I loved the post-credit scene. Everything about this movie. Kingpin. Holy crap. Next up, I got White Boy Rick. Same reason you guys loved it. I loved it too. My only problem was I really wanted to see more about how Rick built up his criminal empire. I really feel like it kind of time skipped. I understand that's not the point of the movie, but to me that brings it down enough to keep it off the list. Isle of Dogs. Again, you guys talked about this movie. It was my number 10 for a while. It was on my list for a while. It was up there for a while. But as the year went on, I just found myself enjoying certain movies more. So unfortunately, it fell off. Creed 2. Ooh, what a movie. What a movie. That scene when Adonis gets back up and the Rocky music swells. Ooh, it got me going. Oh my god. Great follow-up. We saw Creed and Creed 2 on the same day. And I gotta say, both movies were great. We had a lot of concerns going into Creed 2, and this movie was fine. And finally, my last honorable mention is Overlord. Dumb, cheesy, weird, loved it. Loved every second of it. Loved this movie. Euron Greyjoy is amazing. All of the cast is amazing. This movie gave me a Charlie horse because I gave a full body cringe when a dude got put on a freaking meat hook on his chest. This movie is brutal. It is bloody. It is a B movie and it is beautiful.
So I only have 4.
Bitch.
Because I wanted to do 3 and was like, I can't do 3 because this movie belongs on there now. So I have 4. None of them are in particular order. Obviously,
I don't think we've done.
I don't know if you guys had yours in order either.
Just random order.
There's 4 movies. Mid 90s. I loved it so much. Jonah Hill, good fucking job, man. He's fantastic for one as an actor. I just saw him in another movie that I wanted to maybe put on honorable mentions and was like, it's too. Nah. I enjoyed mid 90s. It's fun, and then really has a good serious message in there, and it was really fun and nice. And I mean, I like skateboarding just in general. So it really brought me back to being a kid, and that's it was a nice little nostalgia trip for me. Widows. I don't even know what to say about Widows. Everyone was great. I didn't like the twist, and that's the only reason it's not on my top 10, I think.
That's what kept it off the honorable mentions for me.
The whole twist is just the only reason it's not there. I think it'd be number 8 or 9 probably still.
It'd still be on the list.
If it was better, and it wasn't. Upgrade. This is what Venom should have been.
Yes.
Fun. Symbiote-looking thing, not looking thing, but symbiote-like thing, super strong and combative, and basically a superhuman cyborg, man. Both of them star weird Tom Hardy lookalikes. One of them's actually Tom Hardy, and both of them have something that talks in their head, and one of them's so much of a higher quality than the other one. It's not even funny. This movie was fantastic. It's really fucked up, actually, too.
Yeah, it is.
It's very violent, and I love it. And the cinematography is actually really good during the fights, too, which is important. And Mud, on his honorable mentions, talked about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Man. And now I'm going to talk about it. Fuck, what a fun time. I didn't actually want to see it, because I didn't like the animation in the trailer. And there were certain spots in the movie where I'm like, it's still a little weird and choppy. But it didn't distract me enough from the movie. It's fucking awesome. And I absolutely loved it. It's funny. Kingpin. Mud only mentioned it at the end, but I'm going to talk about it a lot. He is a big square with a small face, and it's the funniest fucking part of the whole movie. The entire movie is a really good lesson, too, actually. It's not, with great power comes great responsibility. It's about learning how to handle that power. How do you be responsible? How do you handle having all this power? How do you handle having no power? And it's very deep, actually. It's deeper than you thought it would be. And I loved it.
All right, so moving on to number one.
All right, so me and Jake are going to talk about...
Yeah, Mud, why don't you go first?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll go first. Number one of the year. Bad Times at the El Royale. Oh my god. I don't think a movie has ever been as hyped as I have made it. The second we saw this first trailer, I was like, what is this? What is this? I need to see it right now. At one point, me and Jake saw a movie. They played 2 trailers for it, and I almost shit myself because I was so happy. I can't make up how much I love this movie, and I'd talk about it if I could, but Ian's brought up literally everything when he talked about it at, like, what, number 4? Fuck you. Oh my god, everyone brings it in this movie. Jeff Bridges. This is going to sound really dumb. I know we talked about Matthew McConaughey deserving best supporting. Jeff Bridges deserves the best supporting actor. He killed it as Father Damien Flynn. Oh my god. The ending of this movie to me is just such a wild and beautiful ride. The middle of this movie is crazy. There's so many great scenes. Fucking Lewis Pullman getting his face blown off. One of the best shots in the entire movie. Beautifully shot, beautifully directed, beautifully acted. It's by the same guy who did Cabin in the Woods and the guy who helped create the Daredevil show on Netflix, which is one of my favorite shows. The soundtrack alone, and even the opening to this movie, the opening scene, I gotta talk about it. Steadicam does not move, but it time jumps and it jump cuts throughout a night of Nick Offerman burying something in the floor, and then he gets shot in the back. The song's cut out in black and white text. Bad Times at the El Royale. None of the jazz, none of the neon, just a fuck you, this is the kind of movie you're watching. And the second I saw it, the first time I saw it, because I saw it 3 times in theaters, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh baby, it's gonna be one of these movies, let's go! And it brought it. It delivered on everything. There were 3 movies that we were all kind of equally hyped for. Ian wanted Predators, Jake wanted Venom, I wanted Bad Times at the El Royale. Ian was completely disappointed. Jake, you
had fun with it.
You had fun with it. Venom's a fun movie. Bad Times at the El Royale was the only movie between the 3 of us that I feel delivered on the hype that I gave it. I cannot say enough good things about this movie. I can't wait for it to come out on DVD. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to watch it until the disc breaks. I saw this movie 3 times in theaters, and it's like 2.5 hours long.
And you said Ian said everything about it. You just unloaded on why it's like fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
I did say a lot about it. And you looked at me while I was doing it, and I'm like, oops, all berries.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not going to have to talk about anything. Just talk about everything.
Literally, I was like, well, at least I can talk about Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth's great. Motherfucker. All right, you guys go.
Okay, our number 1 is Blind Spotting, isn't it?
Blind Spotting, isn't it?
Fucking masterpiece of a movie.
Yeah, I gave it a 10.
I mean,
I stick with that.
I gave it a 9.5. It's
literally,
fucking
Mud just said, Ian said everything about the movie he liked. Mud fucking steals everything that I cared about as far as that.
Not even me. Fuck you. David Diggs.
Yeah, I only talked about Miles.
Great. Miles, great. The message behind the movie, great. The suspense the movie brought with every single scene. Every scene was so suspenseful. You felt like you were walking in his shoes. Mm-hmm. The whole movie.
There are 2 standout scenes for me. There's the scene where he tries to get his friend to say the N-word.
That's a...
Which kind of...
That was a great
Oh my
scene.
fucking god.
That
It's
scene
so dramatic.
brought me.
This was such a... Like, I remember when we were watching it. I'm sorry, I'm going to jump in even though we already talked about it.
Go ahead, go your shit.
I'm not trying to say sorry to bother you, it's like way below Bad Times. They're both up there, just Bad Times edged it out. But my point is, oh my god, that scene alone, we were all on the edge of our seats like, this is so entertaining and like such a strange and beautiful scene because I don't understand what is going on and I love it. It's a breakdown of the characters. It's who they are on the inside.
That's the one of the scenes more. The other scene, the scene where he confronts the cop in the 3rd act with the free verse, that is my Star Wars Lightspeed scene this year. This is my favorite scene of the year. This is my...
You know, that's up there, but my favorite actual scene of the year. We'll talk about that after. I'll talk about it after.
I like the idea that we also call it the Lightspeed scene because that's synonymous with
crash.
our favorite scene of the year.
Lightspeed Kamikaze.
Exactly. So Lightspeed is just a term for that. but holy fucking shit. I've like watched that on YouTube like 10, 15 times.
I know.
Wow.
I saw it in his YouTube.
I
history the
can't.
other
I
day.
can't
Nice.
stop rewatching it. It's almost as good as a rewatch of the
You
movie.
brought me around to that scene because we were talking about it later, and I said that's the scene that kind of kept it from being number one for me. And you were like, well, actually, when you think about it, X, Y, and Z, and I was like, oh my god, that's so smart.
I know, it just
if
hit
you, like,
me.
analyze the lyrics and watch what he's doing and watch both of their eyes the whole time, it's
I was
just like.
I was just sitting there waiting for David Diggs to shoot himself. 'Cause I was genuinely.
I thought he was gonna die.
I was
Yeah,
genuinely
scared, man.
convinced that was how the movie was going to end. I was convinced David's going to turn the gun on himself and blow his brains out. That would be
And
the
then
end
you
of the
got,
movie.
is his name Miles, his friend?
Miles.
Miles. Oh my fucking god. Miles is a character, not even just like because like he's an asshole, but like what the character represents and what that character is used for in the story. Oh my
Beautiful.
fucking
So good.
god. This is a masterpiece. Mwah. Mwah. So
The
fucking good.
symbolism and metaphorical things in this movie heavily outweigh anything I've seen this year.
The lowest
Oh, it's
score
so
one of
beautiful.
us has given it on our list is 2.
Yeah.
That's
how
incredible.
good it is.
2 out of 10, or rather,
It's
that's second
either
spot.
the gold medal or the silver medal. And I want to make it very clear. There is like a centimeter of space between Bad Times and
Well,
Blind
Bad Times was your big hype movie anyway,
Blind,
so
yeah, Bad Times was my big hype movie, and I'm just a sucker for that style of movies.
I wasn't even super excited. Like I wanted to see it, and you got me the Blu-ray. Very much thank you.
I bought you the Blu-ray. We wanted to see this movie in theaters. By the time we got around to it, because we were all busy, it was
Yeah.
at a theater.
I'm
so
not
we
a
were
huge
like,
fan of
oh,
like
well.
owning things, but I'm really glad I own Blind Spotting
Yeah.
now. I'm really glad I have it. So
I
that's
got it- I
retroactively
got
a
it for you
great
for
fucking
Christmas.
gift. So thank you.
No, not Christmas. I got it for your birthday.
Birthday, yeah.
And then even then, we took a month to watch it.
Yeah.
I know, because we were just slacking around like
We
oh,
were
yeah.
slacking around because we didn't understand how fucking amazing this movie was going to be.
Yeah,
This
it
is
was-
best picture material.
Yeah.
I hope it gets a nomination.
It's not, and
the
it's,
same.
that's going to be the biggest snub of the year.
If it doesn't, this is the same love I have and the same persistence I have for McConaughey to get a supporting this year. I want this movie to get a nomination for best picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it deserves it heavily.
I think so too, and it's going to be a crime when it gets snubbed.
I know.
If
Crime.
It might not. David Diggs is pretty big in like the acting circuit because he was in Hamilton, so he might.
yeah, and everybody loves Hamilton.
Everyone loves Hamilton.
Oh, that's another thing. He needs fucking acting for. Oh my god, the whole fucking movie, but especially that rap scene and the.
Yeah, he does.
Both
He's
him
best
and the guy who
actor.
plays Miles deserve.
Oh, absolutely.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Miles did fantastic too.
You know, it'd be funny
What?
is if when you know how they show scenes from the movie is if they both got nominated and they both play the scene where he tries to get him to say the N word.
Because that's
'Cause, like,
so well acted by the both
It's,
of them.
I know it's so well. It's a joke and it's not a joke because imagine that scene being on live TV, but at the same time, that's one of the best scenes in the movie.
Holy
really is.
shit, that was so fucking good. I think it's just about done us.
Yeah.
Except for our bonus little area of this review before we sign off.
So he talked about his favorite scene in a movie this year. What's yours, just real quick?
My favorite scene in a movie this year. Let me think here. Honestly, I think I'm gonna have to go with "Bad Times at the El Royale."
Wow, Mud.
What's the song? It's the game loving.
Oh, you can't hurry, love.
Yes, Can't Hurry Love. The Can't Hurry Love scene from
like
Bad
that scene
Times at the
a
El Royale.
lot.
Even when you analyze it for more than 10 seconds and you realize it doesn't make that much sense, it's so good.
It is
Cynthia
so good.
Erivo clapping to the beat to muffle the sound of Jeff Bridges digging up the floor to hide the fact that they're digging up the money because Dakota Johnson's on the other side with a fucking shotgun. Ooh, so good.
It is really good.
Even if you analyze it for like 10 seconds, you realize
Yeah,
it doesn't
you're
make
like,
a
"Oh,
lot
why
of
does it work?
It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it's so good in the moment.
It is really, really good.
Yeah.
I actually listened to that song like 15 times after I saw the movie too.
Yeah.
And I don't like that song that much, but like that scene.
But
is
in
beautiful.
the context
Yeah.
of the scene, it's so good.
I like, okay, so mine's from fucking Aquaman, so you already know this is stupid. But the when they go into the trench with the light and you can see the strings of all of the deep sea creatures going, I think visually it's my favorite scene this year.
Oh yeah.
Fair enough.
Because it's beautiful
It is.
from that perspective. Like a visual, like
Great wide shot.
bright red, wide shot lights, all of the things just going in, cutting through the bottoms, cutting through the tops, but not touching the light part. I think it's really
And like a slow
beautiful.
progression of them
Yeah.
all around as they descend.
Yeah.
I think it's visually it's the visual equivalent of the hype.
The light scene. Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful.
Looking at it in the theater, I was like, "Oh my fucking god, that's my favorite thing I've seen this year."
Yeah.
Like this scene in specific is stunning. I did not want to take my eyes off the screen. It was great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So our little bonus area of this review that we got going on here is our top 3 worst. Now we're just gonna say them individually. We're not gonna
bottom 3, honestly.
just like with our honorable mention. We're not gonna go rounds
Do
and
we
rounds.
talk about our number 1 together?
Sure.
Because we need to have the same number 1.
I don't, but I have a very
You know,
similar.
it's like an anti-blind spotting.
Number 3, Wrinkle in Time.
Hey, number
bag
3,
of shit.
Wrinkle in Time.
Wow. We've already talked about it a lot. Let's keep
The
it brief.
only thing about this movie that's good is that it's good looking.
Yeah. Everything else is
Everything
shit.
else sucks.
Nut Eat. Awful disaster of a movie. And I know it's your number ones, both of you, but my number 1 is Slender Man. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen ever. It is in my all-time worst is 2018 Slender Man. Holy fucking shit. I'm not going to talk anymore. Your turn.
All right, my move. Number 3, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. It's not even bad. It just flies in the face of everything that people love about Harry Potter. It has such a non-ending and a non-climax to an already violently confusing story, and I just can't recommend it as a good Harry Potter movie. In good conscience, as a Harry Potter fan, it sucks.
So you've only seen 2 disasters this year.
Yeah, I've only seen 2 real disasters. I can't say I hate Fantastic Beasts, but I put it on here for what it represents. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. Number 2, Robin Hood. Fuck this movie. It sucks. It's awful. It's terrible. Nobody in it does a good job. I don't care if Taron Egerton had a good time filming it. He sucks in it. And I will stand by that till the day I die. Ben Mendel, generic bad guy man, sucked. Jamie Foxx, sucked. Whatever her name was, Miranda, sucked. Equal rights guy, sucked. This movie, halfway through it, I realized it was just The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight trilogy, all smashed into one. They had the police riot scene. They had the training montage. They had the terror. There's nothing in this movie that makes it a Robin Hood movie, and it's so oddly modern. The clothes they wear look like they're from today. They're clearing out. They're in the Middle East on a crusade, quote unquote, and they're drawing their bows and arrows like they're freaking M16 rifles, clearing through back alleys like they're a fucking Afghanistan military unit, which makes no fucking sense because you don't know how bows and arrows work. They're not close quarters fucking weapons. There's like an auto turret, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this goddamn
There
movie?
is an auto turret.
There's nothing in this movie that makes sense. It completely fucking sucks and fails on every level. Every level, this movie sucks and fails to be a movie. And my number 1 for the year.
Hold on, before you say your number 1, I just want to say...
Can I do my list before you say
No.
your
Yes.
I don't have to talk about any of my movies.
No, you don't
Oh,
talk
yeah,
yet.
you
Don't
go.
talk at all. I saw Robin Hood with you in the theater. You fucking hated it, as you've portrayed now. The only reason it's not on my list is because I had guilty pleasure with the arrow scenes. I like the trick shots. Therefore, it's not the worst movie of all time. That's it. All right, you can go.
The arrow shots suck. I don't care. They didn't make the movie fun. There's one scene where they're like, you need to wear a mask so nobody knows who you are. And there's one scene where he's jumping in front of a guard, no mask on. And it's like, do they know who he is or not? Or like Jamie Foxx busts him out of jail and he's not wearing a mask. And then later in the movie, Jamie Foxx attends this party with Robin Hood. And it's like, you were the only black person here. How do they not know it's you?
So, Ian, say your others before he gets to his number 1.
So we already talked about Wrinkle in Time. Number 2 is Slender Man. So I can talk about this for a second. What a fucking train wreck. Now, I gave 2 movies a 0 this year. This is one of them. It's ass. Number 2 and 1 are fucking tied. There's nothing good about this movie. Slender Man's not scary. He's omnipotent. He wins at the end. There's no resolution. He wins, everyone dies, the end. That's the movie. Sorry anyone wanted to watch fucking Slender Man. I ruined it for you. But the movie theater ruined it for you because they didn't make a good movie. Sorry. It's all shit. They say hashtag in this movie out loud as a thing.
I'm so happy I didn't see this movie.
You said the movie theater ruined it for you. Front row, as soon as it started, we heard
Someone said Gucci Gang!
we heard Gucci Gang be yelled really loud.
By a fucking stupid ass
See,
teenager.
you know, fucking all of them are 10 years old.
That was the funniest part of the movie.
Which was worse, that or the kid flossing in front of the screen at Teen Titans Go to the Movies?
Ooh, we're having a fucking debate here.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
I just wanted to bring that up because that happened too.
That was almost on my list, but
It was almost on my list too.
I just have to say, there is nothing good about Slenderman. All of the acting is abysmal. All of the plot's abysmal. There's barely a plot. Everything sucked.
Do we want to talk about the anti-blind spotting now? The worst movie of the
we're
year?
going to talk about Disney's The
Nutcracker and the Tales
Four
of the
Realms.
Four Realms. Fuck this movie. It sucks. It fails on every fucking level to be a movie. But I will let you go first.
So, do you remember when I said all those bad things about Slenderman?
Yeah.
This movie made Morgan Freeman and Keira Knightley look like they should never be in movies again. They try to have all this like fantastical. This seems like a script for a movie. Like, remember how George Lucas wanted to write a Flash Gordon movie and said he made Star Wars?
Yeah.
This is like, hey, I want to make a movie about some fantastic world. And Disney was like, nah, this is a Nutcracker movie.
No,
now.
it was, hey, I kind of like Chronicles of Narnia. Because that's exactly how they get to the 4 realms or whatever. I said this in the review, and I'll say it again. I know nothing about what the Nutcracker is about. And I feel like I know less now for watching this movie. This movie has nothing to do with the Nutcracker. And case in point, the Nutcracker character says, I'm the Nutcracker.
Nothing made
Nothing
the Nutcracker.
explaining what that means. Who fucking cares what it means, because it's never explained. The character is complete ass. Every line in this movie is exposition.
I wanted to mute the movie. And, like, that's not even the worst part. Because I wanted to walk out of the movie. I never leave theaters. I've never done
We
that.
all wanted to walk out of the movie.
You kept us from
You were
walking
the reason
out.
we
Damn
didn't
it.
walk out of the
Damn
movie. It's
right,
because
I
you
was the
wanted to
reason we didn't walk out of
stay.
the
Me
movie.
and Jake
Because
wanted to
I was
walk
the
out.
one person who said, I don't want to see it. Let's pick something else. Let's just watch Overlord. And both these chocolate fucks said, no, we need to see the Nutty. So they did. And then 15 minutes in, they were both like, we should leave. And I'm like, no.
Not 15. We got
It was
halfway
like
through.
40 minutes in, we said we
Yeah.
should leave.
And both of these chuckle fucks who wanted to go are like, let's leave. And I'm like, no, I'm already here. We should see it through so we can talk bad about it. Like, even the things that were supposed to be visually appealing just weren't.
Just want to point out that 2 of the 3 worst movies of the year were both made by Disney, like big Disney productions. Nut Yeet and Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah, they were blue ass.
Well, it's because Disney knows they can't do anything wrong because they're still going to get people in the seats.
As long as we have Star Wars and Marvel, we're fine.
You want to bet they can't do anything wrong? Watch The Nut Yeet and watch A Wrinkle.
Don't
in
watch
Time.
the Nutty. Don't watch the Nutcracker. It sucks.
Yeah, no, don't support Disney.
All right, we'll see you guys in 2019.